Today, we've got three major stories with global, political, and tech world impact. President Trump hosts West African leaders while slashing U.S. aid. Linda Yaccarino steps down as CEO of X, ushering in another Elon Musk-era shakeup. And the DOJ is finally investigating Obama-era intelligence officials Brennan and Comey for their shady roles in the Trump-Russia hoax. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. So President Trump just hosted a delegation of West African leaders at the White House. Now, why is that significant? Because this is happening while the U.S. is pulling back foreign aid to the region.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. And I want to thank you, all of these great leaders, for joining us as we welcome to the White House the presidents and prime ministers and various other forms of dignitary to this wonderful place. Is nothing like the White House to me. We're represented today, and your continent is represented by Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal, all very vibrant places with very valuable land, great minerals, great oil deposits, and wonderful people. Last month, the U.S.-Africa Business Summit had recorded an attendance record, actually, and generated $2.5 billion in new economic deals for the United States. The administration is committed to strengthening our friendships in Africa through economic development efforts that benefit both the United States and our partners. And we're shifting from AID to trade. We had AID, or aid as we sometimes call it, right to trade. And trade seems to be a foundation that I've been able to settle a lot of these disputes, like, as an example, India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I said, you guys are going to fight, we're not going to trade. And we seem to be quite successful in doing that. To that end, we have closed the USAID group to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, which was tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're working tirelessly to forge new economic opportunities involving both the United States and many African nations. There's great economic potential in Africa, like few other places in many ways. In the long run, this will be far more effective and sustainable and beneficial than anything else that we can be doing together. I'm eager to work with each of you on your vital issues and also to discuss security. We've encouraged our staff at the White House to work along with these nations. There's such tremendous wealth there and potential there. We encourage the countries here today to make greater investments in defense, hopefully, of course, buying our equipment.
President Trump's strategy is classic America First diplomacy. He's saying we'll treat you with dignity, but we're not just handing out taxpayer dollars with no strings attached. Foreign aid without accountability has enabled corruption across Africa for decades. Billions in U.S. money often disappear into the pockets of elites, while ordinary Africans see no benefit. And now Trump's saying no more blank checks. Trump also emphasized trading with the African nations and acknowledged the wealth of resources that they have. And he also encouraged them to make investments in defense. All seems very positive to me. And what's the media takeaway? Trump is alienating the region because how dare he take away aid to these third world countries? Please. These leaders are coming to him, which tells you who has the leverage. And let's not forget, U.S. cities are collapsing under illegal immigration, housing shortages, and inflation. So maybe redirecting aid inward is the moral thing to do. Now, let's shift to the tech world. Linda Yaccarino is officially stepping down as CEO of Elon Musk's X, formerly Twitter, after 2 years on the job. Now, full disclosure, when Musk first brought Yaccarino in, many conservatives were a little bit skeptical. A former NBC Universal ad exec aligned with corporate brands, she didn't necessarily scream free speech warrior. But to her credit, she tried to steady the ship after Elon shook up the entire platform. She launched community notes, pushed advertiser outreach, and worked on projects like X Money, trying to turn the app into something more than just a microblog.
CEO of Twitter, now known as X, Linda Yaccarino, will be stepping down from the company after just 2 years. She said it in a tweet, doesn't give a reason. We bring in Bloomberg's Max Chafkin, who covers all things X and Elon Musk for us. Why do you think she's leaving?
Well, if you've been following the news lately, there have been quite a few reasons, I think, that have pushed Linda Yaccarino away. I should say, first of all, 2 years is a long time in Elon Musk's orbit, yeah. Especially in the role she was in, kind of serving as a buffer between Elon Musk and the world of advertising. That's going to be a very difficult situation for anybody. I think most people did not expect her to last anywhere near this long. So in that sense, it's a really impressive run. And I think in certain ways, she's done a lot, right? Like they managed to, it was a very chaotic couple of years or a couple of months at the beginning of her tenure at Twitter, kind of righted the ship. The problem is you have Elon Musk sort of relentlessly, changing things up in ways that I think have been super unhelpful. Of course, and you'll remember this well, bringing back all these far-right influencers, that's the kind of thing that advertisers don't like. And just in the last couple of days, we've seen this new version of Grok that is sort of just spouting anti-Semitic, cliches and praising Hitler and so on. And if there's one thing big advertisers don't like, it is having their ads adjacent to that kind of content. So that, I think, is making her job untenable. The other thing I'll say is Elon Musk just merged X, the company formerly known as Twitter, with XAI, his AI initiative, which owns Grok. And it was always a little bit unclear what her job was going to be. It seems like this is Elon Musk's company now, not sure what Linda Yaccarino was going to do.
I've been scanning his own X account, and I don't believe he's weighed in on this yet. And that was going to be my question. With the merger of X and XAI, listen, just to run X, the handful of people who could do it wasn't that large, was it? Not with Elon Musk, if you will. Now,
well, he's running X, right?
Right.
Regardless of who he puts in place as CEO.
She had a mark.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that she was able to do, and you saw it, they brought in a handful of influencers, most prominently probably Tucker Carlson, who has developed a pretty substantial following on X, since leaving Fox News. She was sort of trying to build kind of a right-wing media platform, and I think that actually made a lot of sense. You saw that kind of reach its peak around the election. You could really feel like the energy of conservatives going there, but that really depended on Elon Musk having a, good relationship with the man in the White House, and that, of course, has changed as well. So again, it's a lot of things that I think makes the job of selling advertising hard. There's also a way in which Musk himself has undercut that business, not only by, putting all this edgy content on X, but by moving towards AI and sort of signaling that the point of this company is not to create content that you're going to sell ads against, but it's to train large language models and eventually an AI. And that is a different business altogether.
Well, Elon is the architect, the brand, and the visionary. And now it looks like he will be kept very busy as he's reportedly stepping back into the lead tech and product side. And finally, the DOJ is investigating former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey for their roles in the 2016 Trump-Russia investigation. And let me say what we're all thinking. It's about time. Though, I'm sort of anticipating no evidence was found, nothing to see here. But anyways, these men helped orchestrate one of the biggest political scandals in American history. They weaponized the intelligence community to spy on Trump's campaign based on fake opposition research funded by Hillary Clinton's team. The Steele dossier was fraud. The FSIA applications were riddled with lies, and Brennan and Comey knew it, but instead they sold it to the American people anyway.
Fox and has sources from the DOJ saying that the FBI has launched criminal investigations into John Brennan and James Comey. The former CIA director John Brennan and former FBI director James Comey are under criminal investigation for potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia probe, including allegedly making false statements to Congress, Justice Department sources told Fox News Digital. CIA Director John Radcliffe referred evidence of wrongdoing by Brennan to FBI Director Kash Patel for potential prosecution, DOJ sources told Fox News Digital. The sources said that the referral was received and told Fox News Digital that a criminal investigation into Brennan was open and is underway. DOJ sources declined to provide further details. It's unclear at this point if the investigation spans beyond the alleged false statements to Congress. As for Comey, DOJ sources told Fox News Digital that an investigation into the former director is underway, but could not share details of what specifically is being probed. The full scope of the criminal investigations into Brennan and Comey is unclear, but two sources described the FBI's view of the duo's interactions as a, quote, conspiracy, which could open up a wide range of potential prosecution options. The FBI and CIA declined to comment. Neither Brennan nor Comey immediately responded to Fox News Digital's request for comment. The Brennan investigation comes after Radcliffe last week declassified a, quote, lessons learned review of the creation of the 2017 Intelligence Community Assessment, or the ICA. The 2017 ICA alleged Russia sought to influence the 2016 presidential election to help then candidate Donald Trump. But the review found that the process of the ICA's creation was rushed with procedural anomalies and that officials diverted from intelligence standards. It also determined that the decision by agency heads to include the Steele dossier in the ICA ran counter to fundamental tradecraft principles and ultimately undermined the credibility of a key judgment. The dossier, an anti-Trump document filled with unverified and wholly inaccurate claims that was commissioned by Fusion GPS and paid for by Democrat presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC, has been widely discredited.
Like, these were not rogue agents. These were the heads of the CIA and FBI, and they didn't just bend the rules, they burned them down to the ground. And where's the media outrage from the left? Because they screamed Trump is a Russian asset for years. And now that the narrative is crumbling, they're dead silent. So let's recap. President Trump is reshaping diplomacy by demanding accountability from West African leaders. Elon Musk is taking the reins again at X. And finally, Brennan and Comey might finally face the justice that they tried to deny others. So here's a question for you. Do you think Brennan and Comey will actually face consequences? Or will this investigation mysteriously vanish like so many others? Let me know in the comments. And if you've gotten any value from this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.